Okay, so have you ever wanted to just jump into an English conversation, but you get that nervous feeling like, what am I even supposed to say? Well, think of this as your personal toolkit. We're going to load you up with all the essential phrases you need to sound totally natural and confident, no matter the situation, whether it's just a casual chat or, a classroom discussion. Let's get right into it. So here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to tackle breaking the ice. Then we'll get into how to keep that chat going so there are no awkward silences. After that, we'll cover the really tricky art of disagreeing but doing it politely. Then we've got a little classroom survival guide. And finally, how to make a graceful exit. By the end of this, you're going to have a complete conversation playbook. All right, first up, breaking the ice. That very first moment can honestly be the hardest part. So let's look at 4 really simple go-to phrases that are going to help you start any conversation smoothly and, most importantly, naturally. And hey, if you get nervous starting a conversation, I promise you, you are not alone. It is such a common hurdle, but it's one we're about to clear right now with some super easy phrases. Let's kick things off with a total classic. Nice to meet you. The perfect time to use this is right after someone tells you their name. It's simple, it's polite, it's a perfect follow-up. And here's a little pro tip. When you're leaving, you can just switch it up and say, "It was nice meeting you." It really ends things on a great positive note. Now, for something a bit more casual, how's it going? This is just a relaxed way of asking, how are you? It's perfect for friends, for classmates, but yeah, maybe not the best choice for a formal job interview. And you don't need a long answer. A simple, pretty good, or can't complain is all you need. And here's another super casual one. What's up? This is just a general way of asking what's happening. You really don't need to give a detailed answer. Something simple like not much or just waiting for class works perfectly. It's a really low pressure way to just be friendly. Okay, now this next one is really important because it has a very specific meaning. When someone asks, "What do you do?" what they're really asking is, "What is your job?" So be careful not to confuse it with, "What are you doing right now?" It's a great question for getting to know someone a little bit better. Okay, so you did it. You started the conversation. Awesome. But now, how do you stop it from just fizzling out after a few seconds? Well, the key, really, is to show that you're genuinely interested in the other person. So here are 3 powerhouse phrases for you. What do you think about? This invites opinions, and let's be honest, people love to share them. How did you get into? Is fantastic for asking about hobbies. And when we say get into something, it just means to become interested in it. And finally, check this out is a really fun, informal way to share something you find interesting right there in the moment. And here's a perfect example of just how simple this can be. Let's say you're somewhere with a nice view, like this. You can literally just point and say, "Wow, check out this view." It's such an easy way to use what's around you to connect with somebody. All right, this next skill is absolutely essential, but it can feel a little tricky. How do you disagree with someone without being, disagreeable? It's all about sharing their own opinion while still showing respect for their point of view. I absolutely love this simple 3-step formula. First, you acknowledge their point. You say something like, "I see what you're saying." Then you pivot using the word "but." And finally, you state your own view. In my opinion, see how that structure feels more like a collaboration, not a confrontation? Let's really see this in action. Instead of a blunt, "You're wrong," which pretty much just shuts a conversation down, try something like, "That's a valid point, but..." Can you feel the difference? You're telling them their perspective is valid before you introduce your own. It shows you're actually listening, and it makes the other person way more open to what you have to say next. Okay, let's pivot now to a very specific and, for many of you, very important context, the classroom. Just having the right phrases in your back pocket here can make a huge difference in your confidence and your ability to participate. This little table here is so useful. On the left, you've got common things a teacher might say, and on the right, you have your go-to responses. So if you didn't quite catch something, don't just stay silent. A polite, "Could you say that again, please?" works every time. And if you hear a new word, just ask, "What does that word mean?" These phrases empower you to really take an active role in your own learning. So, we've covered starting a conversation and keeping it going, but you know what? Ending one is just as important. You want to be able to wrap things up smoothly without seeming abrupt or making things awkward. So here are a few great options. "That sounds good" is perfect if you're agreeing to a suggestion or a plan. To signal that you're about to leave, you can say, "It was nice chatting with you. It's super friendly and it feels final."
Have a good one is just a casual way to say have a good day. And if you feel like you need a reason for leaving, something simple like, well, I'm heading home now, works perfectly.
And there you have it. From that first hello all the way to the final goodbye, you now have a complete playbook. We've covered breaking the ice, keeping the conversation flowing, handling disagreements, navigating the classroom, and of course, making that graceful exit. So, what's the most important thing now? It's to actually put this stuff into practice. The absolute best way to build confidence is to start using these phrases. So my question for you is, which one are you going to try first? Just start small. Pick one that feels comfortable and see how it goes. Happy chatting.